In the early hours of the morning, LeBron James took to Instagram Live, uncharacteristically raw, unfiltered, and visibly disturbed. With millions of followers watching in real time, he made a startling claim. "This can't stay hidden anymore. People need to know." Moments later, he played what appeared to be covertly recorded footage of Sean "Diddy" Combs at an underground gathering. The video was grainy but unmistakable. Voices were identified, and familiar faces were visible in the background. LeBron, known more for his diplomacy than drama, broke ranks with Hollywood's silence. The footage wasn't just disturbing, it was damning. A man of his influence taking this stand immediately shifted public discourse. The post spread like wildfire, despite attempts to remove it. Social media ignited with hashtags like #LeBron knows and #Diddy files. For the first time, a global icon outside the music world had thrown himself into the scandal, head first. What the footage revealed: sinister scenes below the surface. The video LeBron shared wasn't just unsettling, it was deeply incriminating. It allegedly showed Diddy in a dimly lit, high-security facility beneath one of his mansions, known among insiders as the Tunnels. Within the footage, young performers, influencers, and unknown individuals appeared disoriented, surrounded by guards and handlers. The atmosphere was tense, ritualistic, almost cult-like. One segment seemed to show a forced NDA signing, while another captured loud arguments followed by muffled cries. Audio experts confirmed no edits or signs of tampering. This wasn't fiction. It was allegedly a window into Diddy's most tightly guarded secret. LeBron's decision to reveal it wasn't impulsive. It was calculated and timed with internal leaks from ex-bodyguards and industry turncoats. The footage's authenticity became less important than its effect. It stirred a collective moral alarm, making people question how deep the music industry's rabbit hole really goes. And who else was protecting Diddy all this time? Hollywood's walls crack. Silence, no longer an option. The entertainment industry thrives on silence, unspoken rules, favors owed, secrets buried. But LeBron's actions triggered a reaction Hollywood wasn't prepared for. Studios began emergency meetings. Lawyers received frantic calls. Agents warned clients to stay quiet. But that advice clashed with growing outrage online. Within 24 hours, at least 3 celebrities posted cryptic responses. One simply said, "You were right, LBJ," while another posted a zippered mouth emoji next to the phrase "not anymore." Even longtime Diddy collaborators began removing photos and scrubbing shared history from social platforms. There was a sense of unraveling. If LeBron James, a man who built his brand on family, discipline, and focus, was willing to risk it all to expose this, then clearly there was more to this story than anyone ever wanted to admit. The secret files, more tapes, more trauma. Shortly after LeBron's revelation, a mysterious file dump appeared on a whistleblower site. The files, allegedly gathered by a former employee of Bad Boy Records, included videos, contracts, GPS logs, and even psychiatric records of individuals involved in Diddy's inner circle. Among the footage were disturbing recordings from hidden cameras in private jets, hotel rooms, and undisclosed properties. One document labeled Event Roster Confidential listed names of celebrities under code names, with roles assigned: performer, companion, watcher. Some pages showed payout schedules and legal settlements, hints of an entire machine designed to silence and manage scandal. These weren't just rumors anymore. This was infrastructure, and the world had receipts. LeBron's personal connection. A decade in the shadows. Many questioned why LeBron took this risk. As it turns out, this wasn't a spontaneous act. It was deeply personal. Sources close to the NBA superstar confirmed that years ago, LeBron's childhood friend attempted to launch a music career and was briefly linked to a Diddy-affiliated label. That relationship ended abruptly under mysterious circumstances. The friend returned home shaken and never spoke of what happened again. In private, LeBron reportedly blamed himself for pushing him toward that opportunity. Over the years, he had gathered information, even hiring investigators at one point. Watching the recent wave of victims speak out, particularly the leaks tied to Aaron Carter and Cassie, was the final straw. This wasn't about clout or drama. For LeBron, this was about redemption, protection, and justice. Media blackout attempt. The censorship begins. Almost immediately after LeBron's stream ended, media coverage became strangely fragmented. Major networks downplayed the story, calling it unverified despite mounting evidence. Social media platforms began limiting reach on posts containing the footage or even the phrase Diddy tunnels. Influencers reported receiving warnings for violating community standards. Even clips reposted by journalists were shadow banned. This wasn't algorithmic error. It was deliberate suppression. Insiders at major news outlets leaked internal memos revealing fear of lawsuits and executive pressure to hold coverage. The censorship attempt backfired. The Streisand effect kicked in. Downloads surged. Mirror links popped up faster than they could be removed. The world knew something serious was being buried, and people weren't going to let it disappear. Celebrity divide. Who stands, who stays silent? The scandal drew a line in the sand. Some celebrities rushed to LeBron's defense. Cardi B reposted the footage with the caption, "Protect our own." Keke Palmer simply tweeted, "Been new." Others, however, stayed quiet or dismissed it. DJ Khaled posted a tone-deaf Bless Up video, which was instantly ratioed. Some tried to play both sides, praising LeBron's bravery, while distancing themselves from specifics. The divide became a referendum on integrity. Those who stood by LeBron gained credibility. Those who didn't faced increasing scrutiny. It wasn't just about Diddy anymore. It was about whether the celebrity class could finally police its own. Diddy's camp responds. Panic and denial. Within 36 hours, Diddy's legal team released a tightly worded statement denying all fabricated allegations made in the manipulated footage. They claimed the video was deep-faked and taken out of context. But digital forensics experts disagreed. Analysis confirmed no signs of CGI or manipulation. Worse, ex-staffers began leaking additional footage to support LeBron's claims. A former driver claimed he transported guests to the tunnels on multiple occasions, some underaged. Diddy's attempts at controlling the narrative were collapsing. His lawyers could only stall. Meanwhile, the dam had burst, and no PR firm could patch it. Just as the media suppression faltered, the FBI announced they were reviewing the new footage and files. Federal sources confirmed that Diddy was already under a sealed investigation for suspected trafficking and financial misconduct. LeBron's footage, it turns out, wasn't just public drama. It was potential federal evidence. Agents visited multiple properties linked to Diddy. Subpoenas were issued. Former collaborators received immunity deals in exchange for testimony. For the first time, legal experts began discussing potential RICO charges, a level of crime that implies coordinated conspiracy. Survivors speak. The voices LeBron unleashed. LeBron's exposure emboldened more survivors to step forward. A former backup dancer recounted being held for 3 days in a locked estate. An anonymous influencer described a ritual-like event where attendees weren't allowed to leave. One chilling testimony from a male model claimed, "LeBron saved my life. I've been waiting 10 years to tell this." Organizations like RAIN and Silence Breakers reached out to support these individuals. What began as one voice turned into a roar of justice, amplified by the one person who refused to stay silent any longer. In rapid succession, Diddy's partnerships collapsed. Liquor brands, fashion lines, event sponsors all dropped him. Revolt TV removed him from its executive board. Cyrock ended their campaign indefinitely. The empire he built began to disintegrate overnight. The same companies that once capitalized on his image were now issuing statements of zero tolerance. His net worth plummeted. His name became synonymous not with prestige, but with scandal, fear, and shame. The public turns. No more heroes, only accountability. The public, already tired of celebrity invincibility, responded with fury. Memes turned into movements. Protests erupted outside studios and corporate offices still associated with Diddy. Young fans, especially those inspired by LeBron's leadership, demanded change. TikTok creators chronicled the timeline. YouTube documentaries surged. For many, this wasn't just about Diddy. It was about holding power accountable, no matter how rich or famous. LeBron didn't just expose one man. He challenged an entire system. In a follow-up video, LeBron addressed the world again, this time somber, composed, and resolute. He urged fans to support victims, hold institutions accountable, and stop protecting predators in positions of power. He admitted his own silence for years, but promised never again. Fame should never come before justice, he said. That statement, simple yet seismic, was more than a call-out. It was a cultural reckoning, led by one of the most respected athletes of all time. The sports world reacts. Athletes choose sides. LeBron's revelation didn't just shake Hollywood, it sent shockwaves across the sports world. NBA players, NFL stars, and even Olympic athletes began weighing in. Kyrie Irving posted a cryptic tweet, "Truth has a cost. Respect to my brother." Serena Williams reposted the footage and wrote, "Silence is complicity." On the other side, some athletes remained cautious, perhaps out of brand protection, sponsorship pressure, or fear. The NBA issued a brief statement supporting LeBron's right to speak freely, but distanced itself from the accusations. Behind closed doors, leagues were buzzing. What happens when one of the greatest athletes in history becomes a whistleblower? The answer was forming in real time. Athletes were evolving from entertainers into truth-bearers, and LeBron was leading that charge. Jay-Z's deafening silence, a friend or enabler? As the Diddy controversy exploded, all eyes turned to Jay-Z, longtime friend, collaborator, and business partner of Sean Combs. For days, Jay said nothing. Fans noticed that his social media accounts went completely dark. No posts, no statements, no acknowledgement. Insiders suggested Jay was waiting to see how it plays out. But that silence began to feel sinister. Did Jay-Z know about these tunnels? Had he attended any of the gatherings in question? Was he protecting a friend? Or himself? Rumors swirled that Beyoncé urged Jay to step away quietly. Some claimed lawyers advised total silence. But with LeBron forcing the industry into a moral confrontation, Jay's absence was no longer neutral. It felt like complicity. For years, there were whispers about Diddy's tunnels. They were referenced in gossip blogs, podcast rants, and obscure interviews with ex-staffers. Some said it was metaphorical. Others knew better. With LeBron's footage, the phrase was no longer a myth. It was real. Investigations uncovered blueprints of underground expansions on Diddy's Los Angeles and Miami properties. Neighbors admitted hearing late-night construction, reinforced doors, even unregistered contractors. Former employees spoke of being blindfolded during onboarding, forbidden from entering certain wings of the estate. Now, with the footage confirming physical tunnels, journalists began digging into zoning violations, permit fraud, and private security firms with military ties. This wasn't just secrecy, it was premeditated infrastructure built to conceal exploitation. Cassie's revenge. The lawsuit that sparked a fire. Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former partner, filed a lawsuit months before this scandal erupted. At the time, it seemed like a disturbing but isolated domestic abuse case. But after Lebron's footage, everything changed. Cassie's lawsuit became a Rosetta Stone, referenced repeatedly by investigators and media outlets. Her claims about coercion, surveillance, and being trapped in a lifestyle she couldn't escape now made horrifying sense. Her legal team refiled with new evidence, emboldened by the public shift. Cassie, once painted as a jilted ex, was now viewed as the first domino to fall, a woman who warned the world before anyone else would listen. As more evidence emerged, it became clear that Diddy didn't operate alone. The footage, contracts, and testimonies revealed a complex network of enablers. Lawyers who drafted airtight NDAs, security firms that escorted victims, assistants who destroyed phones, and even doctors prescribing sedation under pseudonyms. A particularly chilling discovery involved a Hollywood talent agent who recruited young performers for private events. These weren't isolated crimes. They were part of a supply chain. RICO experts began assembling a case that extended beyond Diddy, potentially implicating record executives, nightlife owners, and even certain law enforcement contacts. The question shifted from what did Diddy do to how many protected him while he did it. Survivors. Organize, a legal storm is coming with momentum on their side. Survivors began to unite. A group of 14 victims, men and women, retained a high-profile civil rights lawyer. A class-action lawsuit was in the works, aiming not only at Diddy but his business entities, shell companies, and associates. Advocacy groups launched a legal fund. TikTokers promoted GoFundMe campaigns. Trauma therapists volunteered to help. This wasn't just a celebrity scandal anymore. It was a survivor-led movement demanding systemic change. The storm was coming, and the legal world was bracing for a trial that could redefine entertainment accountability for a generation. After releasing the footage, LeBron James was forced to increase his personal security. Anonymous threats were made. Private investigators warned him about surveillance attempts. A drone was spotted near his LA mansion, but LeBron refused to retreat. He reportedly told his team, "They can come for me. I won't stop talking." His wife, Savannah, and their children were briefly relocated to a secure residence. NBA officials offered additional protection. LeBron didn't just risk his reputation, he risked his safety. That sacrifice only deepened public respect. For many, he became more than a player. He became a symbol of courage in the face of darkness. The press conference, LeBron's final words to the industry days. After the fallout reached global news, LeBron James held a press conference. Standing without agents, without lawyers, without PR handlers, he looked into the camera and said, "I'm not here to destroy anyone. I'm here to stop the silence." He thanked the victims who came forward and demanded other celebrities take a side. He called on the NBA, the Grammys, and the NAACP to investigate industry abuse structures. He finished with one line that trended for weeks. "If I didn't say it now, my success wouldn't mean anything." It wasn't a publicity stunt. It was a call to conscience. By now, Diddy had vanished. Paparazzi couldn't find him. Private jets were tracked, leaving the country. Some said he was in the Bahamas. Others claimed Dubai. But wherever he was, he was no longer in control of the narrative. Properties were raided. Lawsuits stacked up. Sponsors ran. Diddy, once the king of hip-hop opulence, was now a fugitive of fame, hunted not by police, but by the truth. There would be no comeback tour, no redemption arc, just consequences. What happens next? The fight for cultural purging. The LeBron-Diddy saga had triggered something deeper, a cultural cleansing. A generation raised on TMZ and TikTok was now asking, what have we accepted in the name of entertainment? The industry faced unprecedented calls to investigate misconduct, protect rising stars, and create actual oversight. Streaming services reviewed old catalogs. Festivals canceled questionable artists. Artists rewrote their contracts. A shift was happening. Slow, painful, and long overdue. Whether Diddy ends up behind bars or not, the court of public opinion had already made its ruling. No more icons built on silence.